So last week I gave the announcement that I'm getting a brand new studio, and that's really exciting, but it didn't quite happen the same way I expected. Here, let me show you what we're working with. Alright guys, welcome to the new studio. And now guys, you're probably thinking, hey, this is a barn, not a studio. What the heck is going on, Will? But if you would have seen what this place looked like even a couple weeks ago, your jaw would just drop at how much we've changed this place. The floorboards were so thin and really sketchy.
I'm just gonna put you right back here. Everything's okay.
Everything's okay. Ah! Don't do that.
It's safe.
I know.
No, it's not.
Oh! This is the downstairs, and as you can see, these floorboards are, I mean, they're not bad, but they are old, so that makes me a little bit nervous. All right. I'm very scared to take any steps and start exploring. I bend my knees and you just hear. Ugh. But now we actually have a real floor, and I'm so happy about that. And there was all kinds of junk in here that I had to move down. There are just so many cool textures and old stuff. Like it just feels old, like rust and spider webs and dirt. It's just so awesome. So a few months ago, when I decided that I'm gonna move out of my old apartment and move into this country house, Adley, my brother-in-law, pitched me this idea. He told me, hey, you know what? We have this barn. It's in really rough shape, but I think it could be a really solid studio for you. And I was really interested when he pitched me this idea. And then I saw what the barn looked like. Just looking at this barn and seeing how it was built and the shape that it's in, it's probably over 100 years old. But as we cleared out the space up there and we started tearing up the floorboards and we put in a nice staircase, I've just been seeing more and more potential of what this place could actually be like. And I think it could be a really great studio.
I can't seem to find the last step.
That wall over there basically didn't exist. It was just studs and a bunch of boards that were kind of just tacked on here and there. Which is actually a really solid feature. You know, you have all this natural light that comes in, but it also is not very good for, you know, insulation and dealing with Quebec winters. So we're going to patch this spot up. So we patched it up, we put in a new floor, we got rid of all that garbage, we put in a staircase, and this week we're putting up insulation, and we're putting in the electrical, and then we're putting up the paneling, and then it's all done. It's actually really close to being finished. One of the things that intimidated me about this project was my lack of information about construction. I just look at the cost of building materials, and it stresses me out, because it is so expensive, especially right now. The space up there is around, I think it's like 350 square feet, and the price of the plywood for the floors and also for the support of the building itself came to being around $400. Moisture barrier is going to cost around $100, and then there's the insulation, which is a big one. I think that's going to cost around $400 to insulate the whole place, and that is really expensive. But I also want to add that the cost of renting a space that's already furnished or that is already built out is a lot more than that. To find some kind of an apartment or some kind of building or some kind of office space that would be as good as this, I would have to find some space that is at least 350 square feet, have access to it for at least 2 years, and only pay $100 a month. Not only that, but because this is a barn, I can do whatever I want with it. I can go ahead and stick nails inside of the walls. I can add more beams, and I can add more stuff like that. You can't do that with another apartment or another office space. You're kind of just stuck with what they have, because if you damage the walls or you damage the ceiling or do any repairs or any drastic changes to the space, their property value goes down. But I think that my favorite part about this deal is that this is my brother-in-law's barn. This is my good friend, and I'm not planning on staying here forever. I might be, you know, moving to a different country or doing another thing and getting a bigger studio some other time, maybe in like 4 or 5 years from now. But because of this agreement, because of this deal that we made, I get to have a studio for the next few years, and then when I leave, Adley has a brand new barn, a fully functioning room that's fully insulated. He can use it as an office or as a place where his kids can play one day, a workshop or another studio, or he can rent it out. So yeah, this is a lot of work, but it is totally worth it. So I encourage you guys to look into your resources, look around. Maybe some friend of yours has a shed or a barn that you're able to use or you're able to modify and able to provide them with some kind of a deal that is really able to benefit both of you. And I have a couple ideas that I'm actually wanting to do with this space that includes you guys. I'm really wanting to create a community where we're able to encourage each other, build up our skills, and be able to improve our filmmaking careers as a whole. I've been really fortunate to have people who invest in my life, people like Kevin Smith, my youth pastor, and my mentor, Mark Sarazin, people who invest in me, who believe in me, and continue to encourage me to this day. One of the things that I'm wanting to do with this space is pay it forward. Do that for other people in this room here. And I'm hopefully going to be able to do that with workshops and being able to mentor people and guide them through their creative process, build up their portfolios and build up their confidence in this art form. It's something that I'm really passionate about and that I really love, is building up people in their creative endeavors. So if you guys are interested in being part of these workshops and part of this community, let me know in the comments down below. I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video, and make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you're getting those notifications, you know, do all that jazz. And I will see you next time. Take care.